Hello everyone, welcome to the last video of basics of software testing. In this video, we are going to see uh, what all SQL is required for the testing, uh, the job and interview both combined together, right? So I will be giving you the real-time knowledge and also uh, what kind of interviews you could face, interview questions you could face, that as well. So, in order to understand SQL, SQL is like language, Java, C++ are languages, right? So, SQL is also a language. Why is it used? It is used to get the data from database. So, as we know, there are different type of databases, and the basic definition of database would be uh, some kind of information, right? um, a very basic database that everybody has is in the form of Excel sheets. In Excel sheets, we have rows and columns, right? We have rows and columns, and these rows and columns represent different kind of data. For example, I will have a column number, serial number, then I have a column that is first name, right? Then I will have a column that is last name, then I have let's say roll number, then I could have the branch, what is the branch of the student. Likewise, I will have serial number 1, right? I'll have serial number 2, serial number 3. Now for serial number 1, we will have some kind of data. Let's say uh, the first name is Ankit, last name is Sharma, roll number is 101, branch is CS. Then we have second data. Let's say it is Swati Singh, roll number is 102, branch is IT. And finally, we have Suresh Yadav, roll number is 103, and branch is mechanical. So this way, we have different kind of data in an Excel sheet. We have different kind of databases which are used in software systems, and those databases are like SQL Server, and we have MongoDB, we have Oracle, and all these databases interact, right? We can get the data from these databases using different kind of languages like SQL, NoSQL, okay. Likewise Postgres, these are all different languages. So in general, or I would say at a vast level, SQL is used, and the database that I'm talking about, it could be SQL Server, MongoDB, Oracle. Uh, I would say in most of the databases, there will be the table format. Okay, the data will be in the table format. So you will have different columns and different rows, basically. So this database is stored in the servers. Okay, this database is stored in the servers, and we extract that data using some application. Okay, using some application, and in that application we will provide some SQL commands. We will provide some SQL commands to fetch any particular data. Now it would be overwhelming for the newcomers or who are studying this for the very first time. Don't go to any kind of tutorials right now. Okay, do not switch this video to any tutorials to understand SQL. I am going to teach you each and everything here. Okay, and each and everything that is required. In tutorials you will find so many things, from them 90% are never used in testing. Okay, we are focusing on testing, so just focus on this video, and at the end of the video you will be able to understand why I am telling this. Okay, once I finish the entire video, come back to this part where I have explained this database. Okay, listen to it again and you will get uh, another understanding about what I have told you. Okay, so SQL stands for structured query language. Okay, structured query language, query language. So why structured, right? Why the structured word is used? Because we will have different clause. Okay, we will have different clause. Clause is like conditions, or in general term, I'm saying clause could be a conditions based on which we will do a query. Query is a question, right? Query is a synonym of question. So we will question that from to whom we will ask this question. We will ask this question to the database, and we will ask what we need, and they will provide it, right? The database will provide us that particular query, and whatever query we are going to do, it will be based on a clause. We will give some condition to get that query. So suppose if I ask you, I need the roll number of Ankit, right? I need the roll number of Ankit. So it's obvious, right? You will have to fetch only one row here. You have to fetch only one row. Why would you go on and fetch all the data? So in order to get only Ankit's roll number, you will have to provide some condition. You will have to provide some clause in that command that you are going to give, so that database will understand, okay, this particular command is asking for a particular row, right? This is a row. So based on that condition, the command will fetch only Ankit data, not all the data, right? So this is what SQL is about. Very first thing that we are going to see is the select statement. Okay, the select statement, select is self-explanatory, that we are going to select something, right? Select statements tell SQL that we need to select something from the database. So this database will have a table, right? This is a table kind. We have a column and row. So this table will have a name in the database. Let's say the table name is a student. So we have to select something, so we will use select statement. So let's say I want roll number, right? I want roll number. So I will say I have to select. I will say I have to select. Select what? I have to select roll number. So you have to give this exact name. You have to give this exact name, that select roll number. I have simply written it, select roll number. Now, in database, you will have multiple tables, right? You don't have only one table. If you have a student table, then you will also have professors table. You will also have departments table. You will have accounts table. So how will SQL know that which table is required, from which it will fetch roll number? So we have to tell SQL that you have to fetch this roll number from this table, from a student table. So we will simply write here from, and from table name, right? Select roll number from a student, from a student. Now, how will you find, how will you fetch the roll number of Ankit? How will you fetch the roll number of Ankit? So we have to provide a condition, we have to provide a clause. So there are multiple clause in SQL. For now, we are going to use where clause. Okay, we will use the where clause. So we will write where first name is Ankit, right? If I tell you in a general way, if I give you a sheet of paper and I tell you, get me the roll number where student name is Ankit. So you will just go to that sheet, you will find Ankit, and you will give me the roll number. Similarly, we will tell SQL that select roll number from student where first name. So we have to give the column name exactly, where first name is equal to, right? First name is equal to, so we will write equal to sign, and first name is Ankit, so we have to put this under single quotes. Okay, whatever the name is, we will put it under single quotes, that please find first name with Ankit, and we will write this sign of semicolon. Okay, we will write this semicolon. So now based on this query, the SQL will fetch me the roll number 101 from this student table because I have provided this query. So what things we have used? We have used select, we have used from, we have given table name, then we have used where, and we have provided the condition that where clause will work like this. So it will be able to fetch the record of Ankit, right? Moving ahead, so where clause. So as we have seen, where clause is used to provide any condition, right? Where clause is used to provide any condition. And what does where clause did here? Where clause has chosen only this row, right? Where clause has chosen only this single row and it has neglected other rows. That means where clause has filtered the rows, right? It has filtered. By filter means it has neglected few things and you have accepted some things. So where clause has accepted the row with the first name Ankit. So we can say that where clause is used to filter the rows, from selected table, right? We have selected student table. So from selected table, where clause has filtered the row with first name Ankit, right? It has filtered the row with first name Ankit. Moving ahead, we have from clause. What is from clause? So from clause will provide us the table, the particular table from which the data is needed, correct? So from clause is also filtering the data because we have multiple tables. We don't have only student table. We will be having department table, we will be having professors table, we will be having accounts table. So we need only student table data, right? Why would we fetch other tables unnecessarily? It will put the pressure on our system's performance, right? So we will fetch only particular tables. So in a way, from clause is filtering the tables from the database, right? From clause is filtering the tables from the database. It is getting the data out of only particular table. So this is what a from clause is. Now let's say I have another table wherein the table is exam results. Okay, the table name is exam results. I have a serial number, I will have a roll number, then I will have percentage. So let's say these are three columns. So serial number 1, 2, 3. Now in roll number column, we will have the roll number of the student. So I will write 101, percentage is 80%. Let's say I have roll number 102 and the percentage is 78%. Let's say we have roll number 3 and the percentage is 92%. Now the thing is, what we want is, our objective is, we need to find the result of Ankit. If I ask you, if suppose this is the table in your real-time system and your manager asks you that please get me the result of Ankit. So what will you do? In a order way, in a normal way, if I give you these two tables in a printed form, you will find the roll number of Ankit, right? You will find the roll number of Ankit. Then you will move to this table and you will find where is the 101, and then you will find okay, 101 is here and the percentage is 80. So you will tell your manager that the percentage is 80. Now, how will you do it in a SQL? What command will you provide? So for this, when we did it manually, when we look for ourselves, what did we do? We actually joined these two tables, right? We joined these two tables basically. We find something from first table and we look for the data for the same in the second table. So in an order we have joined these two tables. So in SQL you also have joins. Okay, you also have joins to find the data which are present, which are dependent on other table. So you have different kind of join. You have inner join, okay, you have outer join, you have left join, you have right join, you have full outer join. So for this purpose, we need to have the data which is common in both. That means 101 is 101. Both are present in each other. So here we will use inner join. Inner join is work in a way where it extracts the data. It extracts the data present in both tables, both tables that we are joining. It's not just about these two tables. It's about any two tables that we are joining user using inner join. It will extract the data that is common in both. So here we will use inner join to fetch the data of 101, right? We will fetch the data of 101. So SQL command for this would be like uh, select roll number or first name. Let's say select first name and select percentage. Okay, from we need to find two tables, right? From student S and inner join. The other table name is the result table, right? The result table, result R, where now we have created two references for the table R and S. So we will provide the condition now that we have a condition where S we will use, so we will say S dot roll number is equals to R dot roll number. So in a way we are joining the table and we are also filtering out the data based on any particular column. So this way we can provide a query and the inner join works in that way. Moving forward, we have group by clause, right? Now group by clause, what it does is, let's say you have selected a data, okay? You have written a statement like select star from a student. So star means star will extract all the data. Okay. Star means it will extract all the rows, everything. Now we have selected asterisk, but we need to group it in a way. By grouping means if you do not put any group clause, what will happen? The data will be displayed in a same manner, right? It will be displayed in a same manner. So by grouping clause, what we could provide is we need to group this data, let's say based on the branch. Okay, we need to group this data based on the branch. That means the branch that is common. If you have, let's say, one more record here, 4, and okay, I just added this. Let's say this is also a CS student. So now what is happening is CS is represented first, then we have IT, then again we have CS. So if we provide here that select asterisk from a student and please group by what is the name of the column? Branch, right? Group by branch. So what it will do is it will group it in a way where the common branches will be grouped together, right? The common branches will be grouped together. So this way we can group the data. Okay, we can group the data. Then we have order by clause. Now suppose you have selected the data, you have grouped the data, everything is done, but now you need these data in a very particular order, right? You need a order. So what you will do, that you can simply say, let's choose a command. Let's say select asterisk from student, okay, and here you say order by what? Order by any particular column name you can give. I can say order by roll number, or order by first name, or order by last name. I can choose any particular column. Let's choose first name. I'll say order by first name, and I have to provide which order I need. So I can give it in an order like descending. So I will say DESC. If I want descending, I will say DESC. If I need it ascending, I will write ASC. By default, it is ascending, but still you can provide. So this way we can order the data that we have filtered out by putting different clauses before. We have used where clause, we have used group by clause. So after all this, after the data is selected, we can provide an order to the data as well, right? Now, in where clause, we have a limitation. In where clause, we have a limitation wherein we cannot use any aggregated functions. I'll tell you what is this, okay? We cannot use any aggregate function on where clause. That means, let's say, if I am grouping the data by branch, okay, I am grouping the data by branch, and I need only those data for which they have at least 3 students or 5 students of CS branch. Okay, mark my question. I need only those data where the count of CS student is more than 5. Then only I need the data, otherwise I don't want it. So what I will do, I will just put a having clause here. Okay, having clause has the capability to use aggregate function to filter out the data. For example, I use select asterisk from student, and I will say where whatever condition I have given, where all of this, and finally I will give having. So for count, I have to count the data, right? If I want 5 students of CS, if the table has 5 CS students, then only I need to display the data, right? So I will just write here that count is a function. I will give this bracket because we have to tell the SQL which particular column you need to count. So I will say the branch. Okay, count the branch, count the branch, right? Count the branch having any particular condition like having branch equals to CS or whatever it is. Okay, and we could say greater than 5. So this way, what will happen is it will find only those branches that we have provided which count is greater than 5, or we can say less than 5. It's upon the requirement, or less than equal to, or we can provide greater than equal to. It's upon the condition, what condition we need to give. So having provides us this aggregate function. Okay, count, add, subtract, these all functions we can use in having clause. This is the aggregated function. So for that we have having clause, because in where clause we cannot do that. Because in where also we could have written, right, where branch count is greater than 5, but where clause doesn't work in that way. So for that we need to have having clause. Finally, we have the limit clause. Now suppose you have extracted all the data, you have put order by, group by, where, having, but still you need to limit the data, because there could be 1,000 rows in your database and you need only let's say top 10 rows, or you need only top 15 rows. So for that we have the limit clause. In limit clause we can provide that okay, we only need uh, 10 datas. So you can provide the limit offset as 10 in the select query. After select query, you can put this limit at the end, and you can provide that, okay, I need the limit offset to be 10 only. That way, the SQL will know, okay, we have to limit the number of rows displayed as a result. Okay, we need the result limited to the 10. So this way, a joins work, and sorry, a limit work. Okay. Now we have these different clauses in SQL. We have these different queries in SQL. Now, what is the use as a manual tester? I mean, what would be the practical use of it? So let me give you a very basic scenario. Okay, a very basic scenario. Let's say you have a web page. Okay, you have a web page. Now that web page has a form. Okay, it has a form which accept first name, which accept the first name. That web page accept the last name. It accept the roll number, and it accept the branch. and then you have submit button. So as a manual tester, we will do the component testing of this, right? We will do the component testing. In component testing or system testing, we are going to perform, we will fill in some data, right? Let's say I am putting here Ankita, last name is Yadav, roll number is 104, branch is IT, right? And after filling this data in the web page, I will click on submit button, right? I will click on this button. Now, for clicking on this button, after clicking on this button, what should happen? This data should be saved somewhere, right? This data should be saved somewhere. How will you verify that that data is saved? Right? I am making sense here, I hope. How will you verify that this particular data has been saved? So either it should be displayed in some kind of table view on your web page. There could be a table where the web page will display instantly that this data has been saved. Or what you could do is you could connect to your database. Okay, you could connect to the database. To connecting for your database, your developer will provide you some URL. Okay, the URL for database connection, and he will provide you some password as well, that what is the password for this database connection. And you can use the app. Different kind of app is available with each company. They each company use different kind of apps. So you will just open the app, you will open the app, and in that app you will set up this connection and password, URL and password, and then simply you will have the table name with you, because developer will provide you all kind of table names. All the tables that are present in your company, they will provide you that. And you can just simply hit the command there, that select, please select, let's say asterisk, simply say asterisk from student. So what this command will display, this command will display all the data, right? It will display all the data. There will be some column in the database that will be maintaining the time of creation, right? It would be maintaining the time of creation and when this the data would be created. So you can simply pass here that order by, you can provide this column time of creation, and you can say in the descending order. That means the date, that is current date, should be displayed on the top. So simply in the top result, you could see the recently created user or student in your table. So this, what will this do? It will verify, it will verify that your test case has passed, and you have verified, you have verified database as well, right? You have verified the database as well, that now the data has been saved. And not only saved, you will also check, in this process you will check the schema, that if you have provided first name in the first name box, so has it been saved in first box, on first name box only, or is it saved in last name? You have to verify that, right? Because this is developed by the developer, there could be errors. You have to verify if roll number is saved in the roll number only. You have to verify if you have provided this text and it is saved in the text form only. There could be possibility that it could have been converted in some other form. So these all things you will check, okay, whether this is happening or not. There could be functionality of updating this data. So you have to again do that. You will update this data. You could update the name, and again you will use this query to check if that particular data has been updated in the database or not. So these all things will be done as a manual tester on the database. And this is how, this is the very basic, and for almost 1 or 2 years of work, you will be doing this only. So just go through this again, this video again and again, to understand what I have conveyed to you, and how will you convey this to your interviewer. This is dependent on you. If you could provide it in a seamless, in a very confident manner, he will be knowing that you have the clear understanding of the basics of SQL, and this particular candidate can easily be built upon on the job that they are hiring for. Thank you guys. I'm ending this video here.